Good evening, class. My name is Samuel Regalado, and sorry I couldn't make it tonight, but I'm here to give my individual portion of the country that I picked, and hopefully give you more insight and more detailed information about the country, about their judicial system, and how it works. Currently, right now, in Afghanistan, um, it's not, it's not a, there's really no public order. There's really no police presence like there is here. Dating back to 2002, Afghanistan had trouble establishing. Obviously, what led up to those events was September 11th, and then we decided to do something about it so they can have some police presence to hold these insurgents accountable. So you have the Taliban over there. You have all kinds of narcotics, and basically, I just wanted to establish a base. Right now, the base is Afghan National Police to hold these people accountable, to get them well trained, to get them equipped enough to do their jobs. So currently, right now, I will be addressing the capacity dating back to 2002. The target number was 68,000 with a growing number capacity of 86. So as of right now in 2015, the number could have exceeded 100,000. But I want to talk about those numbers. Those numbers are it's not about the numbers, it's about how well they're trained. And that's where the trouble lies. The trouble of training the Afghan nationals is where the difficulty lies. Over 60% of them are illiterate. So we train them in bunches. Right now, the U.S. and Europe have invested over $10 billion into them. So it's hard to sit down with every individual Afghan national and train them adequately enough to do their job. And some of the issues that they're having is, as soon as we pull out after we've given them training, is that they'll go back into providing for themselves, which is selling narcotics, becoming corrupt, taking bribes, and whatnot, due to the fact that the government has trouble paying out these officers on time. Unlike here, police presence, police officers get paid either way. But over there, it's difficult for them to get a cent. So the crime over there is ever growing. They have to deal with the insurgency, the Taliban, and it's just really difficult for them to stabilize. And that's what we're there to do. And the country itself, in order to hold people accountable, it's just become an ever-growing issue over there. And I want to talk about the various different organizations that they have going on over there. They have 4 different police organizations. They have Afghan National Civil Order of Police. They have Afghan Border Police and Counter Narcotics of Afghanistan. So an effort for Afghan police to provide for themselves, they'll do whatever means necessary. It makes sense. I mean, there are ever-growing issues in narcotics, and they'll get a hold of those opiates and make quicker money that way. I mean, if someone was struggling, if they were struggling over there, and that's the only way to make money, then they're going to do it. It's just the way it's the way of survival. It's the way they have to survive. And, it's just difficult for us to assess their situation, because they're so desperate to, provide for their family. Another thing, the villages over there are run by their own set of code and conduct. So Afghan National Police really isn't a presence due to the fact that they're, like I said before, they're ill-equipped, trained, they're illiterate, majority of them. So it's hard to establish any public order. So that money that we invested basically has gone to waste. Another thing I wanted to discuss was the safety issues over there. Obviously, the crime, the safety issues are the main problem for the citizens. It's really not a place for a U.S. citizen to wander throughout Afghanistan. I mean, obviously, if you're going to a forward operating base or a military base, that would make the most sense. But that would be the only instance, to visit Afghanistan. It's really difficult to find a place where you can just go to and visit. Over the past years, you hear about reporters, and people just, getting beheaded for visiting those places. Because of the police presence not present there, and the Taliban basically banning the police presence, and because they could do what they want, it's really difficult to say that Afghanistan is a stable country. So with that said, Afghanistan really doesn't have a criminal justice system, because the base of the criminal justice system is the police. And without that, it falls apart. Imagine if it was here in the U.S., if we didn't have a police presence. So you put two and two together, and really, it's hard to have a criminal justice system if it's not enforced. The interesting facts throughout this. So we talked about the crime, the safety issues, why they are the way they are, the people and the Afghan National Police, and the different types of organizations, their different police factions that they have over there, and how crime is an ever-growing issue, their corruption going on over there. Very difficult to establish any public order or presence for police officers. And the interesting facts that I've learned is we've invested so much into them, is that we don't even know if it's worth trying to help them anymore, because in my opinion, it's just so hard to assess them, to help them, to have the patience for that. It takes a lot. I'm glad that we live in the U.S. and we don't have to deal with that. So, I'm glad we have public order in a sense of accountability for murder, rape, and all those type of laws over there. Because of the Taliban, it's hard to say that it's a safe place for the United States citizens to visit on a daily basis. With that, I'd like to conclude my presentation of everything that I've discussed. Thank you.